warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Islamic financial framework can be characterized as a financial framework whose standards of movement and practice depend on Islamic regulation, or in Arabic alluded to as Sharia. This implies that all activities in the bank, whether it is cash capacity or funding, are done as per Sharia regulation or possibly without abusing the restrictions that have been forced by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala through Sharia regulation. Our group chose Maybank Islamic Berhad and Hsbc as our assignment research. Maybank Islamic Berhad works as entirely possessed auxiliary and Islamic financial arm of the Maybank Group. The organization was integrated under the Companies Act 1965 on 5 September 2007 under the name Maybank Islamic Berhad. Began as its main and started procedure on 1 January 2008. The organization is situated in Kuala Lumpur and the organization chief business environment is at level 10 Menara A, Dataran Maybank number 1 Jalan Ma'aruf 59000 Kuala Lumpur. In 1960, Khoury started his vocation in banking by establishing Malayan banking with a couple of accomplices in Kuala Lumpur. This day, the organization was driven by the CEO, Datuk Mohamad American. Right now, Maybank Islamic Berhad has 16 independent branches in Malaysia and at the same time influences its broke parents retail networks, which incorporates more than 400 homegrown branches, none of 300 committed focuses and deal staff in Malaysia. Why Hsbc present in Malaysia trace back to 1884 when the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation Limited laid out its most memorable office in the country at Pulau Pinang with authorization to give cash notes. The Malaysian branch activities of the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation Limited were restricted and moved to Hong Kong Bank Malaysia Berhad on 1 January 1994, making it the primary unfamiliar claim monetary establishment to the confined. The lawful names Hsbc Bank Malaysia Berhad was taken on 23rd of February 1999. Hsbc, her office is situated at Menara IQ, Lingkaran TR at Tun Razak Exchange, 55188 Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Hsbc Bank Malaysia Berhad has selected Omar Siddiq to the post of CEO, succeeding office holder Stuart Milner, who is resigning in end March 2022. Hsbc in Malaysia has an organization of more than 50 branches.
So the Sharia governance is significant for ensuring Sharia compliance in Islamic bank to determine the full business activity by following Sharia norms and regulations. Note that Sharia governance is the guideline for efficiently monitoring, running and directing of a corporation, so that there is a correct responsibility and accountability to the relevant authority as well as to Almighty Allah. Moreover, the Sharia governance is required to define and meet the interests and shareholders' expectations as well as the firm's performance, because Sharia governance is critical to run a successful, efficient and lucrative firm. Okay, last but not least, Sharia governance is an essential component in IFIs that was the same goes for the CG of any institutions. As GF justified Sharia conformity in IFI's operational activity because Sharia governance is critical for Islamic bank to establish Sharia's principles and Sharia compliance.
First is GSIFI, which is represent the governance standard for Islamic financial institutions. It is the monetary foundation in accordance with Sharia and rules performing banking, protection or takaful, capital business sectors and comparable exercise, and incorporate the independent branches, divisions and windows of traditional monetary establishments. Second is IFSB, represent Islamic Financial Service Board. So it can be expressed that the administrations in a worldwide standard setting association which is authoritatively introduced on 3rd November 2002. The association covers the banking, capital and protection markets to upgrade the soundness of Islamic monetary administration. Third is SGF, which is Sharia Governance Framework. Is a significant consider the strength of the Islamic monetary framework. This Sharia administration structure has been 12 instrumental in fostering a virtuous and methodical Islamic monetary industry in Malaysia. The standard for Islamic financial institution is to lay out a great framework in Islamic monetary in view of the idea and job of Sharia consistence while working as a component of Islamic monetary establishment. Secondly, for Islamic and Financial Service Board, which is IFSB, the motivation behind this Islamic financial service was laid out as an organization and guideline oversight of the Islamic monetary administration industry. Islamic Financial Service Board is set up cosmopolitan manner by setting the guideline and core values for each Islamic monetary organization. Last, Sharia governance framework means to guarantee that the Sharia administration system can be figured out and carried out as readily as conceivable. This remember setting the terms of Sharia administration for Islamic monetary foundations and great Islamic monetary regulation. This Sharia administration system planned to upgrade and reinforcing of administration construction cycles in the last Sharia association as per laid out administrative
SIFI vision is to stabilize the financial system and it's significant to guide the operation of the IFI market. The mission is to incorporate Sharia principles that cover all elements in the methods, procedure, people, and technology of IFI. IFSP vision is being global, stable in Islamic financial services, and its mission is to promote stability and integrity in the Islamic financial services industry. And CGF vision is to the leading provider of integrated human capital solutions, and its mission is to combine human capital solution, a professional team to exchange customer growth. The character of GSIFI in terms of the control cycle is to create a governance organization and also include IFIs that comply with Sharia principle. While for IFSB, the characteristic of the IFSB can be seen to its organizational stability. The IFSB organization is stable in Islamic financial services. And for CGF, CGF role is to provide fair and competent lawyers to the IFI to ensure that SGF goals, activity, and businesses comply with Sharia principles. Another feature of CGF for risk management is its role in finding and monitoring risk reports that are detected not to comply with the Sharia principle of its business activity.
In Malaysia, Islamic banking and financial institutions are classified into three types based on the operations. First, Islamic financial institutions that only operate and conduct Islamic financial business. Second, conventional institutions that create Islamic banking windows. And third, any financial institution others carrying on Islamic financial business that is governed by the Development Financial Institution Act 2002. Shariah commits are established at the institutional or company level to ensure that the above-mentioned Islamic banking and financial institution, without exception, comply with Sharia principles. Only eligible members are appointed following the passage of the Islamic Financial Service Act of 2013 (FSA) and the Financial Service Act of 2013 (FSA). The first category of Islamic banking and financial institution was left to be governed by the IFSA and subject to the Sharia governance framework of 2010. The standards on governance standard for Islamic financial institution number 2 regarding Sharia review issued by Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institutions in 1998 is the earliest document that touched on the concept of Sharia review. In 1999, Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institutions issued another standard, Governance Standard for Islamic Financial Institution number 3 regarding internal Sharia review. The only difference between these two standards is the definition of the Sharia compliance. Governance Standard for Islamic Financial Institution number 2 simply that states that an Islamic financial institution must ensure that all of its activities are Sharia compliant with no further explanation, while Governance Standard for Islamic Financial Institution number 3 defines Sharia compliant as compliance with Sharia laws, fatwa, guidelines and instruction issued by the Islamic Financial Institution Sharia Supervisory Body.
IFSB, comprehensive approach that include providing complete regulation and supervision standard for Islamic finance. For example, Hsbc Amanah Personal Financing are predicated on the concept of resources murabahah, Sharia compliant primary commodities purchase agreement in which the profitability margin are disclosed and consented upon by those involved parties. The Islamic cross-currency swap under the WAT structure achieve Sharia compliance by implementing a stream of buy-al-sarf transactions for Maybank. Next, approach to develop IFSB benchmarks that could consist with just providing detailed regulatory and enforcement guide for Islamic finance. For example, Maybank Islamic Bank Fund aims to provide annual income to investors seeking annual income by investing in a portfolio of sukuk for investor with a medium to long-term investment horizon. Hsbc Group was lead arranger for the group's first Asian Green Sustainable and Responsible Investments Sukuk for Leader Energy scenario because depositors, investors place their faith in financial institutions to guarantee that their operation adhere to the Sharia designation.
The Sharia governance framework has played a crucial role in ensuring that the Islamic finance industry develops in a stable and effective way. To establish a solid regulatory framework for IFIS to operate within the needed Sharia framework, Maybank Islamic has a Sharia governance framework in place which outlines the bank's expectations for Sharia governance structures, processes, and arrangements to ensure that its operations and business activities are Sharia compliant. HSBC works in a high-regulated industry. While HSBC Holdings plc is not a regulated company, it owns a number of them running regulated and supervised subsidiaries. Banks, insurance firms, and other financial institutions are all regulated businesses in the nations where they operate.
The issue of solidarity in Sharia reference, which shows consistency in Sharia decisions, has been brought up as one more key recent concern in Sharia administration. The issue of exposure in Sharia administration, featured by Rahman in 2015, who looked at the most recent Sharia administration guidelines on revelations in Malaysia with global norms. Utilizing the Sharia administration's exposure proportion in the report, to figure out that Malaysians' guideline on Sharia administration is more exhaustive than the global ones. Rahman also referenced that not very many Islamic banks agree with this rule, in spite of the way that the cut-off time for consistency has proactively passed. The review calls for more tough oversights on the executions of Sharia administration rules in Islamic banks.
Sharia refinancing in Islamic banking to make a loan. The pact of IJARA is the second contract. Customer will pay rent to the bank with a statement with a set amount, musyarakah mutakisab, refinances at Maybank Islamic Berhad. The rental price based on profit proposed by the bank. In this case, consumer pay deposit 20%, purchase a house. On the bank ownership, consumer monthly duration the IJARA agreement because the bank financer not required the asset. Maybank has divided into Maybank Islamic Berhad, where Maybank Islamic Berhad hold the risk, obtain financial purchase by making statement. Many Sharia related issue by Maybank Islamic Berhad due to government's actions. The governments cannot afford to defer the excess costs by the bank.
Credit cards are no longer a luxury item the elite can only own to meet their lifestyle needs. Credit cards are often used in payment system globally as consumers are more comfortable making payment using card credit instead of physical money. With advancement of technology, credit cards play a role that distinctly absents physical money to make purchase online. Okay, first I will explain about Maybank Islamic Berhad. Maybank Islamic Berhad is a branch of the Islamic banking group Maybank. On January 1st, 2018, it started doing business when Maybank transferred in Islamic banking business. Maybank Islamic Petronas Ikhwan Visa Gold and Maybank Islamic Petronas Ikhwan Visa Platinum are the two types of Petronas Ikhwan Visa card. The Petronas Ikhwan Visa card gives some of the following benefits. So there are three benefits. First, there are no annual fee or another condition. Second, save money on fee by not editing them on every month. Third, other benefits such as al-tawfir, which is saving, pilgrimage, which travel arrangement for Muslim and non-Muslim, charity and takaful. So Muslim using this card can access various tourist destinations. Meanwhile, for Hsbc Amanah included the Ujrah concept of their credit card products. In Malaysia, the new concept of Ujrah is used in Islamic banking products, especially in credit. Accordingly, Hsbc Amanah managed to attract the public with their Empower credit card. The first Islamic credit card in Malaysia, they use the concept of Ujrah or fee-based products. In addition, Hsbc Amanah has two types of credit card based on Ujrah, which are Empower Visa Credit Card I and Empower Visa Platinum Credit Card I.
Thank you.